Go ahead and change the colour of the tops of the lifeboats, A-deck promenade, to make it all faucets, to make it match the rear aft part. Then we're going to change these windows to make them match Olympic again, of course. And there's a few little oddities with the portholes on the midsection. So there's going to be two really close together roughly underneath this lifeboat here. And there's going to be two really close together right underneath the second funnel. Oh, I broke that one. This section is proving to be quite stubborn compared to the bow section, so what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to take off all these individual deck pieces here, and then when I've got some clearance at the edge, I should be able to take everything that I need off to do the conversion. So now that we're done with that, I managed to get all of the relevant deck pieces off here at the top, and now, excuse the shadow there, we're just going to go ahead and deconstruct as far as we can, and hopefully we can get down to the portholes here. So I've just removed all of the B-deck windows, and now we're going to deconstruct these. And then we've got them all deconstructed, we can start constructing our B-deck windows. So I've hit a little bit of a snag here in that the portholes are covered by these little 2x3 pieces that extend back over there underneath some of the main part of the superstructure. So it's going to be very difficult to change these portholes without deconstructing a huge portion of the superstructure, which I don't really want to do. I've decided it's not worth it. We're going to leave the portholes as they are and accept this minor detail is incorrect, and then I'm going to replace all the B deck here, make the windows to go in there, and then we can rebuild the A deck, put the decking back on, put the lifeboats back on, and then we should be done after we've done the other side. Okay, so I've got a section of my B deck windows here. Of course, it isn't all of them, but most of them. So I've just finished putting back together all of the promenade deck. We've got the windows in there, we've got all the faucets in. I've replaced all of this side of the boat deck there. And the other side too. As you can see, it's all finished. I just got through the post the missing piece from the bow section. Let's get that in. Good. We're going to get to putting this deck back together. There's two small things that I changed off camera. I've put a little 1x1 flat floor piece or whatever they're called, just on top of this curved piece here, and I removed a 1x1 piece from here to make the windows sit closer. I'm really happy with how the bridge has turned out. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. And then we've got the promenade deck there, windows, everything looks fantastic. Okay, so we've got the stern section here now, the final part, and this is going to be a little bit more complicated. We're going to change the lifeboats, of course. We don't need to change the A-deck promenade on this piece. These windows are going to be mostly removed because we need to extend this promenade deck here back. We need to extend this further forward here. You know, the promenade was longer on the aft promenade was longer on Olympic because it didn't have a Cafe Parisien here like Titanic did. So after the refit, that changed and it became the same as Titanic. So yeah, we're going to have to take all these decks off so we can get down to that C deck there. And I've got some parts we're going to use to change this. Little 2x1s. These little 2x1 flat pieces. I've got some 2x2 bricks. I've got some 3x1 flat pieces. I've got a lot of 2x1 bricks there, little flat pieces, sorry. 2x2 bricks, yellow. Got some 4x1 white pieces there. This is for the promenade deck and stuff. And then we've got some 4x1 bricks there. Oh, there's more. I just ordered a lot of small, yeah. So with all this stuff, we should be able to iron out this area here. So the problem is we're going to put in those windows. I'm going to put in those windows just like on the real ship, but we need something flat to put them on. So they're going to sit flat with the yellow part, and of course the problem here, as you can see, is these are not flat, so I can't fit them in there correctly without it looking awful. I've only got one of these left. It seems like I ordered them wrong. I didn't order enough, so I've ordered more of those, and then luckily that's a really easy thing to fix because they're right on top of the ship. So okay, so I've just counted the pieces and had a look at the reference images, and it seems like we've got just enough to do this. We've got enough faucets to do this extended B-deck promenade. These windows are going to fit here. We've got enough of the windows, and we've got the relevant pieces for changing this arrangement here. One thing I am worried about is these, which I need for the promenade deck to go in between the faucets. I don't have many left. We've got the size problem with the faucets again. I can put them in there without the 1x1 on the bottom, or I can take all this apart and replace these parts here with the flat pieces and the 1x1s. I'm going to just try and test fit it. Okay, I've got the parts ready. Let's see what we can do with this. See how it looks. Let's just see if we can pull this assembly off here. Yeah. I've got a feeling this is going to look a little bit strange and I'm not going to like it, but I'm not really happy with that. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and disassemble more. Okay, so off camera, I've been busy disassembling the superstructure up here and some of these cross beams that go across to support the whole upper decks. That's all down there, laid out kind of as it is on the ship. And luckily, most of it, especially the second class entrance, all comes off in one piece, so it's quite an easy job. The problem now is this section here. I've had to do some work. I've had to, if I can just pull that out. Yeah, I've just had to rework this area a little bit because originally there was a 4x1 brick here. Which was a problem because it accommodated this space, which I need to be free for the windows on C deck. So I've had to use a little 1x1 from the A deck and a little 2x1 brick that one of the extra parts that I bought. So now what we need to do is we need to get access under here to replace these yellow parts so we can preserve the pinstripe on the ship. We are in luck. We are in a lot of luck because I just realised this part of the superstructure all forms one big assembly that I can just lift off there. What was that? The B deck promenade. Yeah, I need to move. So these are like quite big pieces. We've got 3x3s and 3x2s here, all lined up, and I'm just gonna take them off and move them back in towards the ship, and then move all this stuff back to where it should be. All the parts are going to stay in there. I'm just going to assemble them differently by moving the stuff on top back by one step. Okay, so I've moved all these back like I said I was going to do. Not done the other side yet. I'm just test fitting the promenade pieces. So, I've counted all of those little 1x1 pieces, which are quite scarce for me. I think I've got just about enough to make this work. Maybe not. Yeah, so there's the B deck promenade. I'm going to have to turn these taps so that we can access this area here. I might actually cut some of those taps. I'm sure that'll send me to some kind of Lego hell, but... Okay, so you can see now that we've got both sides done. I have decided to cut some of those taps short. I apologise profusely to any of you Lego fans out there. I know that's illegal, illegal move. Okay, just as I was about to reassemble, I realised that there was an opportunity here to fix the porthole spacing. So I checked the reference images of the original ship and I just replaced some of these 2x1 bricks with the hole in with two 1x1 bricks with the holes in. I've got these B deck windows in. They're not super firm or anything like that, but they're not going to come out easily by accident, especially when everything else is constructed. So I had to make some changes here on both sides of the ship. So first of all, there's usually a long grey piece that goes across here at the bottom of this part of the superstructure, just there where the white ones are, and I've had to replace them with some white pieces and then leave that gap there so that I can fit in my my windows. Also, this part here is usually 2 levels thick, like 2 pieces thick, and I had to take one part off and replace. It was two 2x2s like this on top of each other, sticking out from the main part of it, and yeah, I just had to take those off and then replace it with a 1x2, and then keep the other 2x2 in there just to maintain the level of the promenade deck here. So I've just been messing around with these windows again to try and make them fit nicely, because the problem is when I've got them in there, they're not the same height as a normal block. Some of these old pieces from earlier, and that'll just hold it in place much better. Now there is a bit of a gap underneath; it's not perfect, but there's no Lego piece that will fit in there anyway. So I think if we just accept that little panel gap there, that's probably the best solution, and it holds those windows in place quite firmly. Okay, this part was not, it didn't go as I planned. So I've had to disassemble the superstructure again a little bit just to reinstate these little hook pieces. I should have left them there in the first place. This is the solution I've come up with temporarily. I don't like it at all, so we're going to have to rework this area.